So just for the purposes of the VOD, hello, my name's Mark, aka Lithium Project. I am attempting to play through every single WiiWare game, all 400 and God knows what of them. We've played 2 games so far, and now we are playing Bejeweled 2. I like Bejeweled. I like Popcap games. I still love Peggle back in the day. Curses to EA for ruining, another studio, but hey, whatever. Maybe Andrew House can also AI generate a Bejeweled 4, wherever we are at this point. One of the interesting things about Bejeweled 2, and this is just going to be the case when it comes to, WiiWare games in general. Like, we'll just go to Classic. No, we want to start a new game. Is you got 3 different controller setups, which is just so, like, there's no other system, really. Maybe, like, the Wii U. But there's just so few systems where it's like, hey, here are 3 different ways that you can play this game. Now, I presume the nunchucks is that you're, like, actually using the nunchuck to move the cursor around the screen. I've no idea what a Pro Controller / Wiimote control setup is. It seems highly unnecessary. And then we have, the kind of main gimmick that we're here for, which is just pointing at the screen and moving stuff. So let's play some control. Yeah, let's play some Bejeweled 2. Alright. Where's my 4s? Any 4s at? Each what must create. Yeah, okay, fine. I know that. Don't start giving me hints right away. I don't need hints. I know what I'm doing. I'm a seasoned Bejeweled player. I haven't played in a while, but I know what I'm doing. But yeah, there's a real, like, legacy to Popcap, and that introduction of, I don't know if introduction is the right word, but like that beautiful period of the late aughts where casual games were becoming a thing, whether on mobile or Facebook as well, but we weren't quite at the point yet where we were hitting the predatory free-to-play systems that would come along with something like, Simpsons Tapped Out, which just actually got switched off after like 10 years, I think, something crazy like that. And I can't say anything because I did play a bunch of Simpsons Tapped Out when they first came out. And so this was like before that entire part of the industry was just the state that the app stores are in now with the types of games on there is. And I think I just saw the other day that Steam have banned games that I can't remember exactly, something to do with either gambling mechanics or something or another. I didn't look too much into it, because it's been one of the interesting things with the game that I'm making, and people have discussed the idea of like, hey, maybe you could have your game on mobile. And, there are pros and cons to it, but one of the reasons that I'm against doing it is just that there's so much, as bad as like Steam is in terms of how many games get released, I can't even imagine what it's like on the App Store, and like the amount of trash that you're having to deal with in there. And hey, look, Switch and the PS5 are having to combat generative AI slop and that kind of stuff. But hello, that was incredible. The game store, the App Store, and the Play Store, it's just one kind of free to play slop of a title after another. And there was a beautiful time where you could buy a mobile game for a couple of quid, and that was it. That, and maybe a couple more quid. And some of my favorite titles from the late aughts, early 2010s, Monument Valley, Ridiculous Fishing, Cannibal. I mean, even Angry Birds. Like, Angry Birds is a a great little one of those, you know? Like, I have no issue with Angry Birds. And then just slowly over time, as the free-to-play... And, you know, there's a way you can do free-to-play and not have it come across as predatory and as fucking evil as it is, but here we are. And it was really interesting. I was at Pocket Gamer Connects a couple of weeks ago now. And the way that you have certain companies or developers or publishers or companies that outsource whatever, like mobile app specific tools, and they talk about games as a commodity purely to make money, to generate revenue. And and obviously, look, games have to make money, goes without saying. And it's not like this hasn't been an issue for, you know, going back to the early 80s when executives were trying to cash in on a buck and nearly crashed the entire fucking industry. But, you know, it's the romantic in me about looking at video games as an art form, in the same way music or films or whatever else. And hey, there is music out there that is made purely for the purpose of making money. You know, the art of it is lacking, shall we say. So it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise that games would fall into this trap as well, because of people who are finding ways to make as much money as possible. But yeah, the idea of releasing on mobile, like if I'd made my game 8-9 years ago, and even then, you know, like things were still pretty bad at that point. But doing it in 2025, not sure about that. I feel like how incredible the music in Bejeweled is, man. Jeez. I'm trying to think as well, because I must have played like original Bejeweled and 3. I mean, for me, they're all kind of interchangeable. Like Bejeweled, for God's sake. So I couldn't speak to what is different between the three of them, outside of I'm sure there's like time attack modes and high score modes or whatever else, like survival, that kind of stuff. And because I'd have to think by 3 EA had acquired PopCap, so you know, maybe there's some free-to-play nonsense in there, but I don't know. It's all hypothetical. But we're not doing too bad. That's a very Bryce 3D 90s liquid drum and bass art background there. Big fan of that. Big fan of that. So for anyone also who doesn't know about like how this series works, depending on the game, depending on how I feel about it, the general idea is we're going for about 15 minutes. If I'm vibing with it, you know, I might stick around and play it for more than that, but at minimum, every game gets at least 15 minutes to kind of show me what it is, because I imagine there's going to be a fair amount of shovelware that's, you know, not going to want to stick around for more than 10-15 minutes. But we're going to give every game its first shot. We're going to do our due diligence in the name of science. But, I mean, you know, Bejeweled is that kind of game you could just switch your brain off and play for hours without too much difficulty. And also, I'd love to make a match 3 game, but find a way to like really subvert the genre. That would be like a real kind of like game design goal of mine. Because there was a game a few years ago called something like 10 million. There was 1 and a whole bunch of zeros, and the whole idea with that. Also, is this music like dynamically reacting to what I do? I feel like it is. But yeah, no, this game 10 million or whatever it was. It was like a match 3 game mixed with like kind of like a combat sort of thing happening at the top. It was a really cool concept, and Peglin, which came out last year, kind of does a similar thing, but with Peggle in place of like match 3. Thank you for the hint, Jules. That time it was needed. And every now and again, I do kind of sit there and think about like how could I make a match 3 game but subvert it. And there's a really great game that came out not too long ago called Hot Wax, which you can download. I think it's only on itch. I don't think it's on Steam. And the idea with that game is that it's Tetris, but in your Tetraminos are candles. And so the idea is that your candles, they have like wicks on the end, and so you're not trying to like clear bars across the bottom or whatnot. What you're actually trying to do is every 4 or 5 Tetramino like pieces that come down, you have like a flame, which you have to connect to like one of the wicks. And that means that instead of trying to slot pieces together perfectly, you want them like one space apart, because if you've got like a wick that's on fire and you bring a candle down on top of it, it cuts the flame out. So you need to put the wicks like one space to the side of each other to keep those like flames going. And it's that very subtle thing that like completely changes. It's still like Tetris. Like you look at it and it's absolutely like, okay, oh bollocks, no, there we go. You understand that it's Tetris, but it's done with just this little tweak that makes it feel like an entirely different game. And then it has like just really great presentation as well. It's really great. Let's have a quick look at Puzzle. There are games to play. Hey, all right. So yep, I can do something like this. So do I need to do all of them then? Perfect. Select a new puzzle pad from the left. Am I selecting the green or am I selecting the empty? I've already done that one. Okay, right. Easy. I will say, first of all, or just like as I'm doing this, if anyone is interested in the USB bar that I'm using, I will say the responsiveness of it is like really great. Like movement feels like spot on, basically. I guess I could have actually attached. I do have somewhere around here the Wii Plus mode, but I don't think it's needed for Bejeweled, so I'm not going to stress about that too much. Oh, so we need to go across and across and across. Beautiful. We want you two down there. You need to get down there. We are just winging it. Or maybe I don't need to overthink this. Maybe this will work out fine. No, fucked. With the undo button. What's the undo button? What is the undo button? 2? Oh, is that the undo button? Ah, okay, right. I can warp right now. No, let's do all the puzzles. Commit to this. Bet that was too obvious. Bet that wasn't the way to do it. Oh. Let's warp. Yes, sir. Let's play it simple and just presume. There you go. Hell yeah. Oh, there's some endorphin rushes happening here, I tell you. We need to get you down there. No. Nope, we've entered guest territory here. I feel like there's a way to get... There you go. Kinda guessed that, but it worked. I bet that was a mistake. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake. Oh yeah. That red needs to come all the way across. Oh, okay, yeah. I suppose I do need to find a way to clear them all. I think it's literally just what I did last time. Thank you very much. Alright, we're going to do one more, and then we'll leave it there. Yeah, there's no way. Like, sometimes you just kind of feel like you're being led into a false sense of security. Oh, this music's fantastic.
World complete.
Very nice. Very nice. Alright. That is that for Bejeweled 2. Very good job. Very good job. Alright. For those on the VOD, this is it for another installment of WiiWarehouse. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And we'll see you for another installment. But if you're here, if you're watching, we're going to pick another game. And we'll keep on going. So, till then.